Hello, friends. Today we are going to explore one of the most monumental and devastating events in human history, World War II. This was not just a conflict between countries. It was a war that reshaped the entire world. The story of World War II is a story of courage, strategy, ambition, and unimaginable human suffering. From political intrigue to massive battles and personal tales of heroism, this war changed the course of history forever. Let's begin at the start. World War II didn't happen overnight. Its roots trace back to the aftermath of World War I. The Treaty of Versailles in 1919 placed crushing restrictions on Germany, forcing them to pay enormous reparations and limiting their military power. Germany's economy collapsed, and its people were humiliated and desperate for change. The Great Depression of 1929 added fuel to the fire, creating poverty and unemployment across the globe. People were drawn to leaders who promised power, pride, and stability. This led to the rise of dictators. In Germany, Adolf Hitler led the Nazi Party, promising to restore Germany's pride and expand its territories. In Italy, Benito Mussolini established a fascist regime, while in Japan, militaristic leaders pursued aggressive expansion across Asia. Meanwhile, the League of Nations, designed to prevent war, failed to stop these aggressions, and tensions escalated. By 1939, Europe was on the brink of war. Germany invaded Poland on September 1, 1939, using a strategy known as Blitzkrieg, or Lightning War, combining fast-moving tanks, infantry, and air attacks. Within weeks, Poland was overrun, and Britain and France declared war on Germany. Germany's early victories were rapid and shocking. In 1940, they conquered France in just 6 weeks, capturing Paris and forcing the French government to surrender. Meanwhile, the Battle of Britain erupted in the skies over England. Germany's Luftwaffe launched relentless bombing campaigns, targeting cities and military bases. Despite being outnumbered, the Royal Air Force defended Britain with incredible bravery, and Germany was ultimately forced to retreat. In 1941, Germany turned its attention eastward with Operation Barbarossa, invading the Soviet Union. Initially, the German army made incredible advances, capturing vast territories. But the harsh Russian winters, combined with fierce resistance from Soviet soldiers and civilians, slowed the invasion. Cities like Moscow and Stalingrad became symbols of determination and endurance, as millions fought and died in grueling conditions. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, Japan was pursuing its own expansion. Japan invaded China and Southeast Asia, seeking resources to fuel its empire. On December 7, 1941, Japan launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, destroying much of the U.S. Pacific Fleet. This shocking act brought the United States fully into the war. The Pacific War was brutal. The Battle of Midway in 1942 marked a turning point, as American forces defeated Japan's navy, gaining the upper hand. The Allies then adopted an island-hopping strategy, capturing key islands one by one to move closer to Japan's mainland. Soldiers faced harsh conditions, from dense jungles to fortified enemy positions, showing extraordinary courage at every step. World War II was not just fought on battlefields, it was also fought against humanity itself. The Holocaust remains one of the darkest chapters in history. Approximately 6 million Jews were systematically murdered by the Nazis. Concentration camps, forced labor, and mass executions claimed millions of innocent lives. Entire communities were wiped out. Alongside the Jews, other minorities, political opponents, and prisoners of war suffered unimaginable horrors. As the war progressed, the Allies began to gain momentum. The D-Day invasion on June 6, 1944, saw over 150,000 Allied troops land on the beaches of Normandy, France. This massive and daring operation was a turning point in Europe, marking the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany. Soldiers faced heavy resistance, yet their courage and determination paved the way for liberation. In 1945, the war reached its climax. Germany was surrounded and exhausted. Hitler committed suicide in his bunker, and Germany surrendered in May. In the Pacific, Japan refused to surrender despite heavy losses. To end the war swiftly and save countless lives from a potential invasion, the United States dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August. The devastation was immense, and Japan finally surrendered, bringing the war to a close. The human cost of World War II was staggering. Over 70 million people lost their lives, including soldiers and civilians. Cities and infrastructure across Europe and Asia lay in ruins. The war reshaped borders, economies, and politics. It also led to the creation of the United Nations, a global effort to prevent such devastation in the future. The tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union, two emerging superpowers, also set the stage for the Cold War. Beyond statistics, World War II taught humanity profound lessons. It showed the dangers of unchecked power, hate, and extremism. It highlighted the importance of resilience, unity, and the courage of ordinary people in extraordinary times. Even decades later, the stories of World War II continue to inspire, warn, and remind us of the costs of conflict. From the bravery of soldiers on the front lines to the perseverance of civilians surviving unimaginable hardships, this war reshaped the world in ways we still feel today. Thank you for joining me on this journey through history. If you found this story meaningful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into historical events. Remember, learning from the past helps us build a better future. Stay curious and keep exploring history.